Okay, boom. How's that? Alright, so how's that going? Alright, so how's that going? Very well. Let's just get rid of that. We'll turn that to the side of it. Twitch, I know that it's my channel. Great. Hey, Big Daddy, how are you, bud? Check this out. Check this out, mate. We've finally done it, bud. Look at this. Look at this, mate. Watch. Okay, so what's happening here now? That's better. So what we've got, mate, is we now have AI motion tracking. And what it's going to do is it's going to allow us to do more detailed content. Look. Ta-da! So, yeah, can't wait. And then I can go out again. And away we go, bud. Well, you need to do it, don't you, mate? Because you've got to stay ahead of the curve, you know? And basically, remember when I said years ago when we copped a lot of flack that, you know, you don't need backpacks? Well, you don't, right? And this is making life so much easier, you know? So, in traditional bream fishing fashion, I'm going to have me cup of coffee, me bicky, and then we'll start. Now, more importantly, how are you, big fella? Hey, mate, 12-year-olds nowadays are the tech support of the 40-year-olds in the old days, bud. Is the audio clear, Big Daddy? Right. Loud and clear. Good. That's a pretty crisp picture, isn't it? The other thing is too, you have various forms of zoom. So watch this. If we're doing rigs now, I can do that, right? And it'll focus on what I'm doing with the rig, right? And then go back to us. Brilliant. The only downfall with this is it's not water resistant or waterproof. But fantastic unit. It would want to be for what we paid for it, but anyway, it's an investment, you know. Dance, don't get, calm down, are you on your medication again? Got more chance of me being anorexic than dancing, but I'll give you the tip. Oh man. Talk about de-stress, wow. Mate, Remember those old cartoons of the elephant with the tutu on the bicycle? That'd be me dancing. That would be the modern day equivalent of me dancing. Oh dear. Well, mate, we've had our first winter rains and everything changes with the fishing. So to cut a long story short, I don't know whether you can see this. No, don't be jealous. Big Daddy, come over, mate. I'll take you fishing when you're better. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the will that come in, or is that too far? Let's try that. It's all about spatial awareness, isn't it? Or is that it? Come on. I don't know whether you can see this, but see how the water's slightly discoloured? That's because the winter rains have come in from the high country and they've pushed the salt water back. So what will happen now is, with the winter flush, as we call it, eventually what will happen is the bream will come down, they get triggered to spawn. This time of year, a lot of the big fish that you catch are spawning females. So err on the side of caution and let them go, okay? So, hey there, Fiery Winter. Yeah, that's what happens, mate. Normally, as a rule of thumb, right, salt water's clear and fresh water's murky. It takes a while for it to settle though. And as you're saying here with the chocolate milk, that's just a mixture of salt and fresh. So what will happen is there's usually a fringe, and what you'll have is you'll have fresh water on top and salt water on the bottom. Oh, woohoo, here. Oh, I've got to be careful with these hand signals. Hey, give me, bud. Ah, that's better. I've got to be careful with these hand signals. Yeah, thanks for that, Crammit. Well spotted, son. Hey there, Headhunter. How are you, bud? Oh, yeah, I know, mate. That's why so many Southern Europeans talk with their hands, Big Daddy. It's all that garlic bread. So what'll happen is you'll have fresh water on top of salt water, and then it just moves up and downstream with the tide. All rivers are tidal in Australia to a certain point, you know. So, thanks to the 26 people that are tuned in. What a lovely day. Hey Ads, how are you, bud? Well, it is, mate, you know, like everybody just gets wrapped up in backpacks and that sort of stuff, and that's not the future of streaming, bud. This is, okay? So what we're eventually going to do is we're going to get probably 3 of these, have them at various different... Oh, watch the hand signals, Jim. Calm down. Remember the cyborgs on Battlestar Galactica? That's what this thing reminds me of. And in fact, that's what I'm going to start calling it. Cyborg. So, you know, and the other thing is too, it's like having a production crew that's following you around. And the only thing is, this is not... water resistant. Easy, tiger. Let's go out again. That'll do. Good. Nice, there we go. There you go. It was always destined there, Big Daddy. So what I'm going to do, fam, just going to chill out for a second. Yeah, ads, there's still a lot to learn, mate. The amount of features that this has is ridiculous, bud. The other thing is too, what I did is about, what was it? So I've been unwell for a while with this atrial fibrillation with the ticker. But funnily enough, when I'm fishing, it's fine. But I was sitting down and sort of figuring out, you know, where streaming's at. And I mean, in terms of platforms and that sort of stuff, we've never had so many options. And since AIs have come in, there's so much new technology around people that it's ridiculous. And, you know, and with the content creation, we've been sitting on about, I would say, in terms of what we can do with content, as opposed to what we're doing with content, I think for the first 10,000 hours, and this isn't because of like intentions or anything, but with what was available beforehand compared to what's been available, because this has only just come out, this isn't even hit Australia yet, I got it from overseas. With the invention of this, we've probably been running at about, I would say, 25% of what we're capable of. So what I've done is I went out and invested in a Samsung tablet, right, which is now the, oh, hang on. That was recording then. Oh, it is. Yeah, Turtle, you need to lay off the gunja, mate. It's starting to sort of affect your ambition. It far outweighs your capabilities, bud. This isn't a gaming stream, it's an IRL stream, pal. Good. So with what's been developed now, I mean, we're going to be in another 12 months, fam. You know? So that's what it's about. The other thing is too, when we're in the kayak letting fish go, I'm going to be able to press a button and it'll focus on the fish. And if we've got a shark swimming around the kayak and that sort of stuff, I'll be able to press another button, it'll focus on the shark. So, you know, the only problem is it's not waterproof or water resistant. So, but, you know what I'm like. They said you couldn't run a kayak, Starlink off a kayak either. We sorted that out. So, so what we did is we got the tablet, we got the high performance Starlink. Ooh, watch the hand signals. Right, it's like having a puppy that responds to hand signals, you know. Easy, Rover, sit, turn over, play dead. So we upgraded to the high performance Starlink. Then the other thing that I'm going to do too, that I haven't let anyone else know yet, is we're going to get to the stage where we're going to, actually no, I'll wait for this. What we're doing today, right, is half of what we're capable of doing, fam. Okay? Is half of what we're capable of doing. Okay? I've got to stop doing these flipping hand signals. And then the next stream we have, we're going to be probably one of the first immersive streams out there. So, yeah, I'll show you that. But the next one, yeah, you wait and see. Don't forget to follow and turn your notifications on. And the other thing is too, people, excuse me, is we're all about content creation, right? Hey, Sheba, how are you, bud? Content's free to watch, but I would really appreciate it if you went to YouTube, right? Okay, and consider subscribing for free on YouTube, okay? So, thank you very much to the 43 viewers that are in here, okay? Just going to chill out for a second. Hey, Brawniest, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Just going to have me bicky, me coffee. Now, Western Australian black bream are one of our native estuary species. I've got a stream planned for a waterway down south. That's the only place in the world where you'll catch trout and black bream in the same area. It's the most unique fishery in the world. Not many people know about it. Very specialised techniques. You can only access it by boat, or in our case, kayak, right? So, yeah, that's just how it's going to have to be, I think. And we'll be going there. And the good thing is, with the new high-performance Starlink, we're going to be able to go to the remotest places that I've been wanting to go to for a long time. Pubby, how are you? Big shout out to our mods. Pub Test, Lowy 90 and Culpable 6709. They're the brains trust of the stream and the community. We've been chatting about this for a while. And Pubby, thanks for your help, mate. Gabrielle 14, how are you, my friend? Welcome to the stream, bud. To all the new people that are in our streams, welcome. Okay, and please turn your notifications on. And as I said, go across to our YouTube channel. We're only about 140,000 views, shy of 2 million views now. We don't embed any of our streams and we don't use bots, so they're real views, people. So now that we've got this, we're going to up the ante on a lot of the content. So, excellent. Now, the reason why I'm not panicking about getting a line in the water is high tide's not for another couple of hours. And the other thing is too, while I've been sitting here with one eye on chat and one eye on the river, this has still got a fair bit of salt water in it. So what we're going to do is, in winter, as the fresh water comes in, you bream head out into the middle of the river, okay? They will not stay on the edges as much. Now with black bream, in the cities where you've got lights and that sort of stuff under bridges, the Guildford Road Bridge, the Narrows Bridge, the Causeway, all that sort of stuff, great fishing at night because the bream learn to live under the bridges, under the lights, so you'll catch them at night. But traditionally you can't really catch bream at night, fam, okay? So that's why you sort of fish for them during the day. Usually your best times are first thing in the morning or just before dark. First thing in the morning, they've just woken up and they start feeding, obviously, because they haven't eaten during the night. The state record for bream is 52 centimetres, but there have been bigger ones caught. The good thing about that is not everyone's worried about state records, okay? And with black bream, Australia's bream tournaments are the Australian equivalent of the American bass tournaments. And, you know, you've got all these people that spend thousands and thousands of dollars on boats and gear and 27 different rods and that sort of stuff, right? Bream fishing is a great way to relax and just enjoy what you're doing, okay? And even if you've got young families or friends or whatever, it's a great way to get, hey Barracan, how are you, bud? What do you mean fuzzy thing, bud? Oh. Come on, bud, what are you doing? Might be you, Barracan. You might have to lay off the gunja, mate. It's not from our end, bud. Maybe it's a Twitch thing, Famo. Everything's clear on here and everything's clear on here. Hey, Fonzie, how are you? Don't know, bud. Rightio. Might be with the tracking. That's exactly right, Crammit, and you'll go far. Maybe Twitch isn't up to it yet. Hang on, let's try it. Right, is the static back? Because it's clear on here. Great. Loose lips, sick ships, Crammit. Mate, you're the tech guru, you figure it out. Rightio, let's get ready for the bream fishing. Okay, famo, so this is what's going to happen today, right? Today we're going to use 2 fishing rods. On one fishing rod, I'm going to show you how to fish with what I call the self-hooking rig. So with the self-hooking rig, that's exactly what it's designed to do. It's designed to go out there, and it's designed for the fish to hook themselves, right? Now, well, that's right, mate. And the other thing is too, 80% of streams are watched on a phone, mate. So, you know, it could come down to the Twitch coding, because that didn't happen on the YouTube channel when we did the test. And when we were on the YouTube channel, we were streaming in 4K. Oh, yeah, with this you can live stream up to 8K, fam. I don't think so, Fonquist. Thank you very much for the compliment, but I think the horses bolted on that one, bud, years ago, and took my hair with it. Now, that's good. Charging, that's good. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to do these rigs. Good thing about bream fishing, right? Where we here. Thank you. The good thing about bream fishing, right, is that you don't have to spend a lot of money on gear, and there's an overlap with your tackle. So you can fish for trout, redfin perch, smaller fish species, and you're brimming that with the same fishing tackle. You know, some people like to make things really difficult with their fishing, and I mean, good luck to them. If you want to go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on fishing tackle, that's entirely up to you. But you know, each to their own, so to speak. So I'll be back in a minute. What we'll do, just keep an eye on the river for me, eh? Oops. Hang on, bud. All right. So keep an eye on the river for me and tell me if you see anything. Ta-da. Okay, come on, you old stager. I've never heard of them, Fonquist. Never heard of them, mate. Wouldn't know who you're referring to. All right, come in here. And that'll do. All right, famo. Right, so let me show you what you need to... catch bream, fam. Right. First thing you need is a handle on the fishing reel. Where'd that come out of? I hope that's in the box. Must be at home somewhere if it's not. Elia, what's the difference between was that following you and was that shit following you? Okay? Because, yes, okay? Welcome to the future of live streaming, Elijah. Here we go, bud. So, just for the record, right, that isn't what you referred to as shit. That is a fairly advanced piece of equipment that is far opposite that as possible. Okay, so what we've got here, this is my old faithful. This was a 7-foot fishing rod, but after 2 breakages, it's now a 5-foot 10.5. And this is the Shimano dual rod. I've been using Shimano rods for a long time, fan. One thing with Shimano is you do always get a lot more for your buck, if you know what I mean. And especially in the cheaper lower end stuff, they have a lot of features in that you don't really see in a lot of other reels. So what we're going to do is we're fishing with Stratic 3000 and Stratic 4000. Hey Loey, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. Oops. What do you mean by that, bud? Fond quiz. I fished for black bream with a hand line for the first, I don't know, what was it? 15 years of my life. Caught plenty of bream over 45 centimetres on that, mate. Yeah, it's just that... Look, people, please remember in our live streams that all my views are my own, right? So, you know, yeah, I'm not here to try and make money out of your fam. I'm just here to provide content and, you know, just get it out there, if you know what I mean, okay? Alright, so let me show you the self-hooking rig. Now people, if I can offer one bit of advice, okay, never ever fish with a rig where the sinker slides down to the hook. It's a total waste of time. I haven't been fishing with those rigs for 35 years, because what happens is, it's a bit like if I tied a piece of peat to a rope and then I put a big like cray pot float on it, right? And then put a, come on bud, and then put a big cray pot float on it. Come on mate, a bit close for that, come on. That's better. And then I put a big cray pot float on it, right? And then every time you went to eat the pizza, I slammed the float down on your face, you wouldn't eat it, would you? Same thing happens with fish. If you've got the hook with the bait and your ball sinker back, right? And the fish goes to bite it and you set the hook, the sinker slides straight down and hits it right on the end of the snout, and you'll catch 10% of what you can catch with a rig where the sinker is a distance from the float. And I'll show you how to do that today, famo, you know. Okay. Gravy T, how are you, bud? You have the sinker nowhere near your hook, Gravy. Total waste of time, bud. It's the most amateur fishing rig you can use, bud. And if you see people using that rig, mate, they don't really understand how the fundamentals of fishing works, bud. Right. Oh, my old eyes. Come on. Now I've just got to figure out my spatial awareness for this. Okay. Yeah, heaps. Heaps fonds. We've caught and released. Hey, Loey. How many mulloway have we caught and released in the last 3 or 4 years on soft plastics? 80? About that. So, okay. So, with your terminal tackle, right, try and use as small a terminal tackle as possible. So these are just your typical barrel swivels with a 30-pound breaking strain. I like to use wide gape hooks, see them there? Okay, and on top of that, people, don't get wrapped up in spending massive dollars on leader and all that sort of stuff. The Platypus Classic is a beautiful line, okay? I think you get about 300 metres of it for 30 bucks. 300 metres will last you 3 or 4 years, okay? I use about 15 pound. A lot of the tournament anglers use 4 to 6 pound. And, you know, with that, yeah, I can't be bothered, right? A lot of your really good bream are in the snaggy areas. 4 pounds a total waste of time, fam. Okay? And then I remember one day I was fishing a river down south, and there's this guy on the bank just going, oh, and virtually crying. I'm like, mate, are you okay? He goes, oh, I lost the brim of my life. And I went, really? Why'd you lose it? He goes, hello, lovely lace. How are you, bud? Disco Dan, how are you, mate? He goes, I was using 6 pound leader. I go, no wonder you lost it. You know, like zero compassion. Anyway, I hope he's okay. Lovely lace, how's the ticker, bud? You good? Right. Yeah, everybody say hello to lovely lace. Now, rightio famo, let me just show you something else. Right, let me just show you this braid knot. Rightio. Good work. So watch this. Don't know, Disco Dan, it might be your mixer. Alright fam, so let me show you this. So basically what you do here, right, is that close enough or not? Or is that better? Yeah, now it's too small. Let's go out again a bit. Come on. Come on, bud. Good. That'll do. Right. So this is the braid knot that I've been using for about 30 years. Right, so what you do, just put the swivel through your oi, here I am. There we go. I'll show you in a second, Fon. So what we've got, you've got your little swivel there. Okay, so that's the space there. Right. This is the easiest knot to do for braid, people. So with braid, right, Fon, it doesn't matter. If you like Daiwa, use Daiwa, bud, right? But just don't overcomplicate it. So what you do, okay, is you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 turns around the braid, right? Now see that little eyelet there? Right, you've always got that little teardrop loop next to the swivel. Bring that in here. 1, 2, whoops, 3, always happens live on stream. Let's do it again. Right, so bloody microphone cable got in the way. So basically what we do is we wrap the line around itself 12 times, right? And then what we do is we go through that and do another loop, okay? And then what we end up with is a beautifully compact little knot. Now, if you like Daiwa, use Daiwa, bud, right? You will not catch more fish using Shimano than Daiwa. A reel's a reel, okay? Don't get into that trap, okay? Now, let me show you this self-hooking rig, fam. Now, with the self-hooking rig, basically what we have is we'll have a sinker sliding between two swivels, right? Great. So, hey Bamboozled, how are you, Buzz? We'll have a sinker sliding between two swivels. Never ever have a sinker sliding on braid. Braid, even though it has no stretch and it's quite strong, it doesn't have the abrasion resistance of monofilament, and eventually you'll have problems, okay? So with that, what we'll do is, me personally, I like to use about 50 centimetres or 20 inches in the old Imperial of line between swivels on the self-hooking rig, okay? So with that, well, it does, Gravy. I'll tell you why in a second, bud. Right, it's a fairly simple process, bud. And welcome to the stream, Gravy. How are you today, mate? And there's also a trick that you need to do to cast this rig, fam, okay? So what we're going to do now is, and I'll give you the rundown on how to fish this rig, okay? So what I've got is probably about a size 1 ball sinker there. I'm going to give it about 50 centimetres between the two like swivels, okay? And like I said, this is just nice cheap 15-pound platypus line. Now platypus line is made in Australia. I like to support Australian, okay? All right. Now, as I said, I like to use the wide gape hooks. Wide gape hooks are really good for fishing prawn baits. Okay, I do have some of the mustard suicide patterns in there, but we'll get to them in a minute. Okay. Oh, don't do that. It's about $1 a hook with the prices nowadays. Now this self-hooking rig's pretty good, famo, because what it does is it brings science and fishing together, okay? I'll explain to you what the trick is with this as well. Great. The biggest... Okay, so famo, this is the self-hooking rig. So what we have is we obviously have our hook on the end. There's about 20 inches of leader between the hook and the first swivel, and then what you have is you have your second swivel, right, and the beam, you have your second swivel and the ball sinker sliding between it, okay? So what happens is when you cast, the ball sinker hits that swivel and it heads out to your targeted spot in the river with the bait trailing behind it, because the ball sinker is the heaviest item that you're casting on the rig. So that's what you're casting. Now, the trick with this rig is about 10 foot off the water, right? What you've got to do is grab the spool of your reel. So what that will do, okay, is that will stop your ball sinker mid-air, and then with this hook that's trailing behind it, it'll actually get flung forward, and what'll happen is your ball sinker will go down to the bottom, and then the hook will follow it, then drop in the current. Now, if the current's going this way, the bait will turn into the current this way. If the current's going that way, it'll turn into the current that way, okay? So you've got two types of fishing rigs, famo. You've got a fishing rig with a weight at the end, and the hook's between you and the weight, or you've got a fishing rig where you have the sinker, as is the case with this self-hooking rig, okay, that's between you and the bait. Two different semantics with the casting. The one with the weight at the end, go for it, cast it as fast as you want, send it to South Africa, rudder, 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 okay? With the one where you have the ball sinker between yourself and the bait, like I said, it'll fly through the air like that with the bait trailing it. If you don't turn the rig over, that'll hit and the bait and that will tangle around itself, right? So just before it hits the water, grab your spool, it'll flick out like that, boom, and then the bait goes over and you'll have tangle-free fishing, okay? So let's show you how to do that. Thank you very much to the 71 viewers that are watching the stream, as I didn't think anyone was going to watch. Rightio. Now, you don't need too much bait for bream. Usually it's a long wait between bites and all that sort of stuff, right? Okay. So, when you're baiting bream baits, you want to try and conceal the hook as much as possible. So see how we've got the tail from this pilchard? So that's your lateral line there where that bone is in the middle. What you do is, you put the point of the hook through the point above the lateral line, right? Bring that around, then cover the lateral line and bring the hook under. And then what you do is just slide that around like so. And what you have, ordinary John, how are you, bud? Okay, and then what you have is you have a beautifully presented bait with just the eye and the point and the actual bend, but it's mainly concealed, okay? So, without further ado, right, let's go and do the cast. Oh dear. Now, with your casting and that sort of stuff, you don't have to go too far. I mean, we're still a little ways off the peak of the high tide. I don't know whether you can see where these branches, oh, hand signals, watch out. I don't know whether you can see where these branches and that sort of thing is. That's called your canopy line. You always try and sort of fish towards the edge of the canopy line. Now, what I'm going to do is, because we've got a bit more water in the river, right, watch, just here, and then grab my spool. And now see, what basically happened then was, my bait flicked out, right? So with the self-hooking rig, what's happened now is, oh, let's zoom in. Can it see that or not? Nope. Rightio, let's chuck that there. Okay. Excellent. So what we've got now, okay, in here, is I've taken all the slack out of my line because bream are very finicky and very, very spooky fish. So the person that asked why we need the sinker to slide, if you've got a fixed sinker and the bream takes the bait, right, it'll feel the slightest bit of tension and drop it, okay? I've seen really big bream on the other rig that I'm going to show you now that have picked up a bait and taken it for 30, 40 seconds and then dropped it, right? And I felt the full weight of the fish and then pulled the bait up and the bait looked as though it was fine. So they are quite a clever fish. So what's going to happen is now, right, with the two swivels that we've got, okay, the ball sinker's actually resting at the one that's closest to the hook. The reason why I have 50 centimetres of line between the two swivels, when the bream hits the bait, it'll turn and it'll run it along its body sometimes, okay? We don't know, but that's generally the theory. If it was braid, it'd snap like that, but with monofilament, it'll rub along the fish and not cut. So what'll happen is, it'll go to swim off, it'll mouth the bait, and then the sinker will slide up and hit the other swivel and set the hook into the bream itself, okay? Now, what I'll do now is, we will fish with the other rig. I'll just get that set up, but that's basically the semantics of the self-hooking rig. Okay, let's zoom out again. Come on, bud. Great. Isn't this fantastic? Isn't it amazing what technology can do, fam? Hey? Hey, Jokey, thanks, bud. Look, mate, like I said, pal, we're all about content and community on this channel. I'll rephrase that. We're all about community and content, bud. Okay? And that's what we do, man. Free to watch the stream, you know. And the good thing about our content is that you'll be able to watch it. And then if you watch the content that we do, you'll improve with your fishing. Maybe not by much, but a little bit, you know what I mean? So, hey there, big man Bombish. I've got a round one. Hey, John B, how are you, bud? Well, this is the few. Look, bud, let me give you a rundown, right? Okay. I don't know about you, okay, but I get fed up hearing about streamers bang on about money. Streaming's not a job. It's not a career. There's no such thing as a full-time streamer. You don't get holiday pay. You don't get sick days. None of them Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, all that sort of stuff, right? But, you know, you stream because you want to. No one forces you to stream, okay? So what we did is, like I said, I spoke with the Brains Trust. Johnny, welcome, bud. You know, spoke with Lowy, Pub Test, Culpable, and that sort of thing. And I spoke to them about recent advances because I'm always looking overseas for ways to improve the viewing experience of the community. And this is it, fam. The only way we're going to improve this better is if they start reading minds, right? And yeah, so we'll probably get 3 of these eventually. They're not cheap. I mean, to set up with the upgrade in the streaming equipment, the tablet was $1,300. The Starlink was on special at a couple of grand. The download for the year's $3,000. So there's 6. That was 2.5. So 8.5. So basically we upgraded with about, you know, what was it? I'd say close to probably about 10K's worth of gear. But, right, in saying that, you know, I mean, when you're an adult, you put your money away and squirrel it away. And when the stuff comes in that can improve the experience of the community, which is you guys that are giving up your valuable time to watch, well, of course you invest in it, don't you? We're here for the long haul, fam. I'll tell you right now, I'm probably going to die streaming, okay? What a great way to go. Do you know what I mean? And this is the future of it. Not backpacks. Backpacks are just show. You know, one streamer gets a backpack, then all the, oh yeah, you know, no one cares about 2K or 1080p, it's audio, right? Over 80% of streams are watched on mobile phones. You can't physically look at that and go, whoa, 4K, wow, you know? Like you've had your 4K hit, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but that's what it's about, Fon, you know? It's what it's about, man. You gotta, it's all about the community and the content, mate. And look, this is the thing, crew, right? We're an end game stream. So we're here for the long haul. We are going to eventually get there one day. And however long it takes to get there, so what? You know, you got to stay committed, don't you? You know? And you aren't gauged by how much you make. You're gauged about your quality, like your quality content, you know what I mean? And that's where we are with it, if you know. So, anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the rig that I use when I go into areas for big bream, okay? Now, with the bigger bream, they are quite cagey, right? You don't want your sinker anywhere near the hook when you're chasing big bream, okay? And look, people, today we could come out here and not get a single bite. Yeah, but that's right, Loey. You know, like banging on about money, that's an adulting problem, mate. You know what I mean? Well, do you remember when we went to Kalbarri, when we took the boat, when we had it? I went to Kalbarri, stayed in Kalbarri, ran the boat and everything, and including fuel to get there and get back, and we didn't spend over a couple of grand, you know? Streaming's only as expensive as you make it, fam. That's the bottom line. All right, now come down here, fam. I need to show you something, right? Okay. All right, just come down here. So, one thing you got to do, right, when you're fishing for bream, you got to watch your line, okay? The reason why I use fluoro yellow braid is in low light situations, you'll see the braid quite clearly, even fluoro orange, right? That's the other thing too. It's an absolute rookie mistake when you have braid sliding down to a hook, okay? Because you may as well just tie a sign to your hook and go, look, I'm here, right? So resist the temptation to move your fishing rod and that sort of stuff, because what happens is, right, with that, bream will sometimes just sit there, okay, and just watch your bait. They're a wild animal, if you know what I'm saying. And then out of nowhere, who knows what happens, a switch goes off in their head and they just into your bait, okay? You've got to be ready for it. I've had rods that have been nearly pulled into the water a few times fishing. This isn't a very healthy river system. There's a couple of rivers down south, way out back, that we would have caught and released about 20 fish by now on this rig, but that's okay. You can only work with what's in front of you, you know? All right? And then I always fish with 2 rods out. And if I'm going to be, I'll put the bait out on one, then I'll soft plastic, boom, 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 lures, whatever. And then in this instance, because I just wanted to chill out today and relax and have a good rest, I'm just bringing some bait down. Look, I've bought a bag of 20 muleys. We're not going to use it, you know. So, hey. Yeah, I don't know. I've only got, because there's meant to be 2 microphones, mate. But, yeah, this is the DJI, so don't know, pal. Thank you very much to the 83 viewers. Thanks for giving up your time to come in. All right, now what I got to do is shift everything, because I got to, yeah, I've got to. I'll show you how to join braid to monofilament. Now, people. Lots of people rave on about the FG knot. Lots of people rave on about the, you know, every knot really. I'm going to show you the easiest way to join monofilament and braid, okay? So in this instance, hey Aussie Bonds, how are you? Yeah, so what it is, mate, DJI microphone, there's one in here, and I'm only using one to save battery life. It's a lot easier to charge one microphone than it is 2. Right, how are we going for signal? We are going exceptionally well. Right, so let me show you the easiest way to join braid to monofilament, fam. guaranteed. So, this is the braid mono join that I've also been using for about 20 years. And no, this is not the FG knot. I don't like the FG knot. It takes too long, right? Because halfway through tying the FG knot, I go, oh, it's my birthday. And I've had too many already, you know what I mean? Rightio. Ooh. Now, the good thing about this is over here, famo, right? I can actually see my line. If I saw that line straighten up, I'd be down there. Well, not in the flash, because the horse is bolted on that. All right, people, so, braid, monofilament, this is what you do, right? Okay, what you do is you just put them over each other, whammo, form a loop, like that. Okay, you reach through once, twice, oh, not another Lionel Richie song, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, ta-da! Then what you do is you just form your loop there like that. And what you have is a beautiful knot that joins braid to monofilament, famo. See that? You don't need to spend 6 cans, a 4-course meal, and all the rest of the stuff trying to tie it, you know. Huey, how are you, bud? We will be out in the veggie patch today, bud. I've been really unwell with the ticker, and now that I'm feeling better, ironically when I've gone fishing, right, we will go out and plant our red garlic 6 weeks too late. All right, famo, so there we are, yay, right. And I don't know whether you can hear that. That's a pretty good grip. Okay, now what we do is this. The other good thing too about this, famo, is when you're casting in light line situations like this, this is a fairly unobtrusive knot. Okay, so with the unobtrusive knot, it means it won't affect your casting, okay, and it'll slide through your guides fairly easily, okay, like that. Alrighty. Now, just excuse me for a second, I've just got to shift, excuse me, everything. So with that, that's your Platypus Classic 15 pound. I think it was about 25 or 30 bucks for 300 metres of 15 pound. That's all you need, famo. Right. It's a lovely, soft and durable line. Now, I don't think you'll be able to claim records with it, but we don't go for records on this channel anyway. Right. Rightio, let me just bring that here. Kiwi Arons, Kiora, how are you? Alfie Stewart's in here. Bam, Benton Fishing, how are you? Dimitri, Yasumalaka. Headhunter, how are you, mate? Everyone's in here, wow, okay. Hey, Sugar Honey, how are you, stranger? What's going on? How's the old boy? Is the finger healed? How are the pups going? Right. As per usual with me, my tackle box is the disaster, but at least I'm consistent. It's another reason why I don't cast too far out into a river. Boaties. And they're like they're doing 8 knots, so wankers. Ah! Yeah, well, there you go, Jim. It's a good way to waste sinkers. Okay, people. Not really banana. Bluegill or bluegill. You don't know how lucky you are, mate. You got so many fish in America you can catch when they're in season, you know. Now, people, if you want a really good multi-pack for brim fishing, that's the Gillies 55-piece egg sinker pack. Gillies are an Australian wholesaler based on the East Coast. This has a variety of different sinkers in there. It's got some split shot, and as you can see, it's got some smaller sinkers going right through to the bigger ones. The bigger the sinker, the less you've got in there. But if you want to get a little sinker pack that you can use for trout fishing, brim fishing, whatever, this is a really good way to go, and it's still affordable, you know. Actually, no, we won't use the big ball one. We'll use the egg one, that'll do. Fortunately, we've got these idiots zooming around in the river fair, mate, so we just got to be a bit careful. Oh, don't do that. Boaties will, yeah. Just give me a second. There we go. Let's leave that out. I need to get a, excuse me for a second, Famo, I've just got to charge another cable. Thank you very much to the 70 viewers for coming in. Pretty quiet all day, it doesn't help. What do you mean, Trace? What do you mean by have I finished? What a stupid question, Trace. I've just started fishing, mate. Why would I be going home? No, mate, I'm not packing my kit at all, bud. I'm setting my kit up, mate. Rightio. So what we've got now is we've got the bean sinker sliding along the monofilament and not braid. Yeah, it's all right, people. Hey, Trace, let me give you a bit of friendly advice, bud. Normally when you come in the stream, okay, right, last couple of times you sort of ask questions that haven't really been relevant to the stream. So don't really know if there's a little bit of ulterior motive to that. But yeah, I just told everyone that I was packing the stuff or unpacking the stuff out to get a sinker, bud. Okay, so just chill out, mate. Okay. Yeah, Undead Banana, can you do me a favour, mate? Can you not use emotes in chat that aren't relative to the stream, right? So, you know, come in and chat, mate, but don't just use emotes, okay? Rightio. Okay. Hey there, Darren, how are you? I am fishing in Australia. Pesty, how are you, bud? Behave yourself, Pesty. Usually the giveaway for that is in the username, bud. Well, we've got boats, we've got choppers. Looks like the drug squad's out. Just fishing a river, bud. Alright, famo, so this is what we're going to do. We've got to change strategy now. Right. So what this is, okay, this isn't the self-hooking rig. This is a sliding sinker rig. So basically what I've got is I've got the sinker sliding down to a swivel, and I've got about 20 inches of leader to the hook. So, yeah, read the title, Pesty. Real life Russian fishing. It's a piss take on Russian fishing, mate, okay? I played that game once for about 5 minutes and had to stop because I felt like I was getting lobotomized. Rightio, let's have a look here. Okay, the fish might not be down here today, but that's all right, we'll still have a go. So I've turned over the rig. Okay, going to chuck that in there. And then what I'm going to do is with this one, right, I'm going to fish a fairly light drag. If the fish takes the bait, I want it to take the bait. Once again, I'm just going to fish to the edge of the canopy over here. This has got a lot lighter sinker on it than the other one. It's fairly deep here, people. It's probably about 10 feet. Right. Back the drag off. Jam it in the reeds so it doesn't go anywhere. Nice work. All right, now what we're going to do is gotta love auto zoom, don't you, Famo? Yes, the one, Logie. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to try and bring a few fish to us, okay? So basically what I've got is some pilchards. I'm going to cut them up and use them as burley. All right, let's zoom in on this. Excellent. All right, famo, so what I've got here is I've got some pilchards and a pair of scissors. Right. And what I'm going to do is, don't make the mistake of cutting your bait up and throwing it out in the middle of a river. Keep it on the edge. If you've got a tide that starts to come in, it'll take the bait and the fish with it. Right, so, okay, now what that's going to do is, we've got our burley that we've just cut up in between us and the baits, so they have to go past our baits to get to this. So what we're hoping is, even if they come in and decide that they will develop a taste for the stuff that we put on the edge, they'll also develop a taste for our baits. What we'll do is do that about half an hour apart, okay? Let's just zoom out a bit. Come on, bud. Gotta love technology. This makes live streaming so easy, fam. Right. Hey there, Aussie Bonds. We don't get yellowfin bream in Western Australia. We just get the good old black bream, mate. Okay. Yellowfin bream grow to about 10 pound from memory. And that's your jam on the east coast, you lucky buggers. Right, so now all we're going to do is sit back, wait for a bite, fam. This is bream fishing, okay? Okay, let's zoom that in again. Mate, this is just deluxe. How lucky are we? Excellent. All right, famo. So basically what I've got here is that's the rig that's got the sliding, or the rod with the sliding rig on it here, okay? And this is the one that's got the self-hooking rig. Early season, you sort of got to try and find the fish, if you know what I mean. And, you know, they could be a mile upstream, they could be a mile upstream or a mile downstream, we don't know. But I mean, as the rains come and change the composition of the river and that sort of stuff, you'll eventually get them. Although, like I said, this is not a very healthy river. All right, let's zoom out now. Come on, bud. That's the spirit. Keep zooming, keep zooming. Boom. Good. There we are, famo. All good. Hey, Ghost Kid. Mate, I've been fishing like this for years, bud. You know, never really made any difference or anything like that. I just like it because you can sit down. The other thing is too, there aren't many rod holders that you can put those rods at that angle, right? I mean, ideally you should be holding at least one of the rods. But, you know, that's just how it goes, doesn't it? So, all right. Let's zoom in a bit. Good. That's enough. Hey. Hey. Good. Track. Thank you. Rightio. So, yeah, ideally, the one that's a self-hooking rig, if there's one that's going to get dragged into the river, it's probably going to be that one, right? So let's just sit back and wait. Heart rate 58. Oh, I know what's wrong with me. I'm stressed. Yeah. Oh dear. I don't think we're going to get a bite for another half hour anyway, fam, just to be straight up with you, okay? Sometimes the fish get in the way of your fishing, people, you know? I just do fishing to create content and try and chill out and relax, you know? So, and hopefully next month we get our Hilux, famo. So I'm going to invest in a new Hilux so we can start doing our trips again. This one's done 320,000 Ks, or I might just rebuild the motor in this one. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. It does, Pesty. And I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? With content creation, you've always got to stay ahead of the curve, don't you? You know? And yeah. Wonder how long it's going to take for other streamers to put dono goals up for one of these, mate. It's hilarious. All right, give me a second. I just got to go and get a drink of water. All right, that stopped. Good. Oh, Loey, drones. I think they're going to get to the stage where they're going to ban drones for fishing, mate. Okay? Yeah, that's what it's about, Pesty. You've got to always try and improve the viewing experience of your community, mate, you know? So... Here comes the rain. Lovely part of the day this. Now, not so much for the camera though, because it's not water resistant or proof. Yeah. Right, let's bring that in there. Let's bring that back a bit like that. Okay. Oh dear. Yeah, I think it's probably going to get to the stage where drones are going to get banned for fishing, mate. You've got to realise too, you know, we've just had Labor get into power again, and they're tied in with the Greens, and the Greens don't want anyone in the rivers, fam. So if that happens, you probably will find won't be any boats in rivers, won't be any mining, you know, just ridiculous. Now, not everyone lives in an office, you know what I mean? Now, why is the tide going back out? It's meant to be coming in. That? That's not right. Thanks very much to the 80 viewers that are in here. Really appreciate the fact you've given up your time to watch the stream. Please consider following on YouTube. Okay, you can subscribe for free on YouTube, people. All right, let the waiting game begin. I don't want it there. How do I stop it from going out too far? Hang on, let's just have a look. Still got to learn how to use this, famo. At least the audio is good, you know what I mean? Right, so what we'll do is let's just do that. Right, and we'll just sit to the side and enjoy the view. Oh dear, I think we're going to have another massive fish kill in this river this year. If we do, I'll be doing a live stream from it. Okay, so because I've got the foreground auto exposure, can't do auto zoom in live stream, or can we? Good audio. Good audio. Even though, hang on. Good audio. Twitch, I've just logged into the Twitch app on this phone, right? And it's treating me as if I'm a viewer even though I'm live streaming. I don't get it. Come on. Because that's what I want to do. I want to go and watch someone else's stream, eh? Well done, Twitch. Oh dear. I fished on the east coast once at Fraser Pesty. I will end up back there, but not just yet. So I will end up back there, bud. So I've got a plan to go back to Fraser Island. Don't know when though. I'll just rock up with a fishing rod and a reel. And yeah. Let's get this in here. Okay. And that'll zoom in on us. Actually do that. Too far away. Actually, I don't think so, Pesty. I think the East Coast does, bud. You guys don't know how lucky you are on the East Coast, mate. We don't have any, I mean, if you start off with freshwater, we don't have any naturally occurring freshwater fish of any value in Western Australia. The rainbow trout, brown trout and redfin perch are introduced. On the East Coast, Murray cod, Mary River cod, scallop, yellow belly, silver perch, the list is endless, Australian bass, you name it, they've got it. And you've got the big dusky flathead over there. We don't get them here. We only get blue spot flathead, but they're a deep sea flathead, you know. They only come in at certain times of year to spawn. So yeah, the East Coast is pretty good, bud. Oh, excellent, it stopped. Oh. And on the East Coast, they have yellowfin bream, I think, from memory, that grow to about 10 pound. Our state record's about 6, I think. 2.86 kilos it was. So, oh, but at least we got out for a fish today, Famo, you know. I've shown everyone a couple of rigs, shown everyone how not to fish. So yeah, it's all good, fantastic. Cannot wait. Still no bites though. I might throw caution to the wind because we've got a couple of, yeah, the West Coast weather is better, Lowy, but I'd put up with the weather on the East Coast for the fishing, mate, more. So, the problem with this is I can't fish down the other side of the river because I've got these pains coming past in the boat. So, and speak of the devil and they will appear. June, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's right, Big Daddy. Bad day of fishing is better than my best day of everything. All right, Famo. Hey, thanks, Kiwi Aaron's. I've been a bit unwell, mate. Certainly do, Ghost Kid. I support 2 AFL teams, North Melbourne and anyone playing Collingwood. Nah, Collingwood are a good club. They are the most successful club in AFL history for a reason, you know. So, oh yeah, what a beautiful day, Famo. Tell you what, we're a bit spoilt with this tracking on this camera, aren't we, hey? Excuse me, Beppies. Who do you support, Ghost? I'd like to thank everyone for their support on YouTube. We're at about 5,800 and something subscribers now. And now that we're starting to get all our content out there, we're going to start upping the ante a bit, if you know what I mean. So now that we've got this as well, the next fine days we have where there's no rain, I'll go out and start doing that YouTube content that we've been asked to do for a while. I should have headed down south today, but it would have been too windy. Yeah, I went to the North Eagles game at Hands Oval. I paid my North Melbourne membership, Ghost Kid. It was a pretty good deal. For $249, you got 2 tickets to the Eagles game and 2 tickets to the Dockers game. Fonny, how are you? Only Fraser, mate. I got flown over to Fraser by Roland when he was alive. And, yeah, fished it once. And I'll go back there again, but I'm going to rock up unannounced and just surprise everyone. That's the plan with the live streaming eventually, people. Just turn up anywhere in Australia so no one knows where we are. So, yeah, be interesting. Very quiet today on the bream. I don't think we've had enough of a flush. So, where do you do most of your fishing, Quizzy? That's the one, Loey. Hey, Loey, the heart rate's at 45. Hasn't gone over 60 for an hour and a half. Why would that be? Oh, nice one. Fonny, what sort of soft plastics do you use, bud, and where do you fish? Aussie Bonds, I'm just using the good old West Australian pilchard, bud. Well, Fonny, the 2 things that people do wrong with soft plastics is they fish too fast and too shallow. Okay? Yeah, I use 3-inch, bud. I use 3-inch. I find 2.5-inch and 2-inch a bit small. Right? So with your soft plastics, Fonny, what you got to do, cast out. And then there's a little technique with that as well. Let it hit the bottom. But you got to just, yeah, I'm going to do a soft plastic tutorial. I've got so much content. I've sat down with the Brains Trust a while ago with Loey, Pubby and Culp. And I think we figured out I've got about 350 segments to do for YouTube. Right, but you've got to start with one, I guess. Yep. So much to do and so little time. Yeah, don't worry about the average depth, Fonny. This averages about 2 metres to 1.5, right? But I still use 3-inch soft plastics. So even small bream will hit a 3-inch soft plastic, Fonny, you know? So Well, funny, Lowy came down to work with me and stay a long time ago, and I took him down to the spot where I go fishing myself, right? And he caught the biggest mulloway of the season. Hey, Rackledge, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. New username, you got an underscore in it, yeah? All right. Nah, not really funny. With soft plastics, what you're doing, mate, is you're trying to emulate an injured bait fish. So with your soft plastics, they sit vertical in the water and the tail spins. So when you bump, it'll come up and then flutter down like an injured bait fish. And try. Good to see ya. Thanks, Rackledge. What do all the others say? Homie? Yeah. A load of rubbish. Anyway, so, and yeah, so with that, what you've got to do, right, come on, mate, is you've got to fish slow. Yeah, you got to fish slow and deep. There's various techniques you can use, Fon, right? So you can bounce off the bottom, right? If you've got a lot of surface activity, put a really light jig head on, cast it out, wind it across the surface, wiggling the rod tip, and stop so it drops. And sometimes they'll hit it on the drop, mate. You've just got to figure out what is happening on the day. And this is the problem, Fonny. They want you to have different techniques so they can sell you heaps of gear, right? Learn one technique well and perfect your craft at it, then move on to another one, bud, okay? And that's the other thing too, mate. You know, you won't catch more fish with Shimano than you will with Daiwa, right? And on top of that, you'll, you know, you'll, you'll, you just got to use what you use. You use Daiwa, I use Shimano, right? It's not going to make any difference to your fishing and that sort of stuff, you know? So, hey, Jim, how are you, bud? No, mate, just chilling out with the community. Oh, funny, I've been using Shimano for 40 odd years, bud. Right? And, you know, with that sort of thing, I mean, companies haven't really changed that much in that time. I mean, you know, Team Daiwa is that Japanese precision, guaranteed, but you pay for that, you know. And I mean, with the fishing reels that I use, you know, the Stratic is sort of like the limit. You would never see me with a Shimano Stella or anything like that. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things, mate. So, and look, oh God, stop recording. I've got to remember these hand signals. Companies want you to try different things so they can make money out of you. You don't need to do it, Fonny. Right? I've got a 7-foot Shimano rod that I paid $60 for, with my old reel that I paid $30 for. Caught and released heaps of fish live on stream, mate. And this is the thing, they want you to sort of, and like this is the problem too, a lot of people that are on Twitch, especially a lot of the live streamers, seem to think they're like tournament anglers. They're not, mate. Right? You know what I'm saying? And everybody wants this tournament angler mentality. Yeah, you need a big $300,000 boat so you can get to the spot quicker than the other guy. Yawn. Right, just enjoy your fishing. Live within your means. Develop your knowledge base over time. Be better at your craft. You know, just say you're 20 years of age today. Next year, just be a little bit better at your fishing, mate. You don't spend money to do that, you spend time. It's like these people that, you know, change their fishing gear. This right here that I've got, the Old Faithful with the rope grips, I had that built in 1993. It's now 2025. It's 42 years old. No, 32 years old, bud. Still works fine. Yeah, that's what it's about, Fonny. You know? And that's it, mate. And you got to remember, I worked in a tackle store in Perth, Fonny. So I've been in that, mate, you know. I still remember this guy sold this lady a really expensive fishing reel to catch herring in Perth. And he came back and he threw it at the salesman, who was just one of these really fancy, swanky Hollywood types. That stuck with me for a long time, mate, you know. Just got to give people what they want, mate. Or what they need, if you know what I mean. So... And look, the other thing is too, Fonny, I mean, we're not sponsored by anyone. I did turn down a couple of sponsorships recently because, what's the best way to describe it? I don't want to lose track of what we're trying to do on the channel. And I'm not going to be someone's muppet because they give me a bit of free gear, if you know what I mean. And unfortunately, with a lot of the tackle companies, it's just... everything's sales driven, mate. The whole American globalization principle, you know. Yeah, something like that, Loey. So, you know. Yeah, yes and no, bud. I mean, it's like, yeah, to catch fish, you've got to buy our gear. No, you don't. No, you don't. Ah, dear. $11:30 already. So is everybody happy with the new equipment, people? Are you happy with the different sort of stream that we're able to deliver? Have you found it a bit more enjoyable, or? Oh, excuse me, burps. Terps for burps. Hey, look at this, Loey. The heart rate's been... oh, sorry, hang on. Yeah. The heart rate's been on 54 for about an hour. Look, I don't know whether you can see it. Why would that be? So... and this is what it's about, people, you know. It's about content. Do you know what I'm saying? We can have a totally different angle. What I want to do is I want to figure out an aquarium housing that I can put over this in the kayak. And then what I can do is I'll hit a button and it'll focus on the fish. So yeah, I mean, this is the future of streaming, fam, right here. So yeah, I'm not the future of it. I'll give you the tip. But anyway, this technology is, you know. So, and I do honestly think that these OBS bots are another product on the market that works well, okay? It's just a question of which one, but it's not so much that. A lot of it's to do with the software and the tinkering with the software. But, you know, anybody that knows anything about live streaming will know what we're using today. But the difference is we haven't done a dono goal to get it out there, you know? Rightio. Say. Yes, it's a bit quiet. Wonder if I send a cast across the river if it will. But then again, I'll have these wallies in the boats come up, so, you know. Yeah, I've got no control over that. So, the other thing is too, Famo, a lot of the content across all platforms is just fairly generic. There aren't too many people that use the AI tracking and that sort of stuff, but if you want your content to be different, you need to come up with this sort of stuff, don't you? You know, so, I mean, that's where we're at with it, if you know what I mean, okay? So, yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Thank you very much, 92 viewers. Thank you very much for giving up your time to watch, fam. Oh no, this is like a test stream, Big Daddy. This is like a test stream, mate. You know? Excellent, we've got that focused on there. This is the spot that we fished that time where we got snagged in here by a river whaler or a big mulloway. We cast out under the trees over there and something took the bait and then it ended up under here, you know, so I couldn't even budget on 15 kilo line, you know what I mean, so. The baits haven't even made hit. The other thing is too, there could be a few bronze river, or the river whalers in the area. We won't catch anything with that going around. Now people, one of the things that we're going to be doing, okay, is we'll be taking the high performance Starlink, this and the trolley. In spring of every year, there's a little spot down south. Hopefully I'll be well enough to get to it. There's a little spot down south where if you sit on the edge of this like rock and face the Southern Ocean, you can see black marlin swimming through, and they do come in close enough to cast a garfish at them. Hey Gazza, how are you, mate? Good to see you in here, bud. What's going on? So we'll be taking this and the trolley and the Starlink down with us to do that. There's a lot of really beautiful and quite spectacular spots in the southwest that the fish probably haven't seen people for a long time. We'll be going to them. That's why I just got to try and get the new Hilux sorted, you know. But we'll get there. Goldie, how are you, bud? 4 years, 7 months. A newbie. Excellent, Gazza. Life treating you well, bud? Hey, thanks for pointing out the audio too, Famo, where you've only got it in one earphone. Like I said, oh, did you? Okay, same username, or did you change it? Yeah, we've got some, I've been a bit unwell, Gazza, but funnily enough, now that I'm fishing, I feel great. Goldie Dragon, I remember. Vaguely. Didn't your Didn't you have another family member that watched, a sister or something? There was 3 of you. Vaguely, I recollect. Haven't been on the live stream. What do you reckon of this, Gazza? We've got some AI tracking, mate. We've got new technology that's making life so much easier, Gaz. Oh, the stress factors. Whereas before I'd have to take half the house with me to live stream. Oh, okay. Bingo. Hope everyone's well, mate. All right, let's get in here. Great. Good bit of zoom, that, isn't it? All right, so let's just head down here. I don't even think we've had a sniff with the fish today, Famo. The lines are in exactly the same spot, but this is river fishing, isn't it? We can have the lines out here for God knows how long, and then whoompa out of nowhere, both rods go off at the same time, you know? So... yeah, that's because I'm only using one of the 2 microphones, bud. Knox, how are you, bud? Well, that's what it's about, Knox, isn't it, mate? We've got to provide as good a quality content as possible for the viewers, mate. Okay? I'm the least important person in the stream here. It's you wonderful people that have given up your time to watch that are important, so we've got to give you something different, you know? So, this is going to be standard now with the AI tracking on stream. Right. Oi. Good old cyborg here. Great. Norman, how are you, bud? What's going on? Wonder if Rolly's on. Now let me show you something too, people. This is how advanced this technology is, right? Watch this. If I bring this down here with me, okay, let me show you something here, okay? Watch this. Ready? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to zoom in on this now. Ready? Watch. That's a 12 by digital zoom right there. Okay? Then we bring it out. And the other thing is too, if we've got something happening here, what I can do is, right, oh, really, go away! I can zoom in here and show you what's happening in the river, which you can't do with backpacks. All right? And even this here, right, just say we find a pretty exotic animal. I mean, that's probably 50 to 60 yards away, right? And just say we find a rare bird or something that's sitting under the trunk of that tree across the river there. And then what we can do is we can zoom in on it with the digital zoom, people. So in terms of content, this is absolutely off the charts. Right? So, and now what we'll do, this is how far away that is. Right, look at this. The river's probably about, I don't know, 40 metres wide here. There we go. Okay. Lovely. Oh, that's right, man. You know, and this is what it's about, people. That's why I invested in the gear. Ronnie, how are you, bud? Oh, you know, that's Aaron, sorry. Thanks, Norman. I feel well enough. Oh, yeah, Loey. And that's the other thing too, people. Tonight we'll be doing... Look, what we're going to be doing too is we're going to be doing a lot of fly tying streams. We're going to get ready for the new season. I've just got to wait for a fishing rod to turn up from America. Vegemite sandwiches and black coffee for a few weeks, but I'll do it because I'm stubborn like that. Right, so yeah, we've got another rod coming over, and then we've got the 6-weight, 8-weight and 10-weight edge fly rods. The best value for money, high performance fly rods on the world market, and the fastest tapered fly rods on the world market. And then yeah, so we'll be doing fly tying. I was going to tie flies last night, but I wasn't well enough, people. Yeah, my heart rate went up to about 120, so I had to have an early one. I was so gutted. But anyway. Excellent. It's like having a production crew, isn't it? All right. The only way we could get better with this is if we had a fish. We'll have to do the Ernie and Bert fish song. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. No. Always works when you're a kid, though. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. They're not jumping onto the bank yet. Ernie and Bert lied. So, oh dear. Well, fam, thank you very, very much for tuning in. Okay, and I really appreciate the fact that you've given up your time to watch the stream. What we're going to do now is we're going to go and throw out a raid. Okay, I hope you enjoy the new equipment, right? And that way, any feedback will be greatly appreciated. Let's go here. So, oh, come on. Let's throw a raid out to one of our biggest supporters on the channel. Of course he's live, Mr. Consistency. All right, let's go and throw a raid out. You too, Headhunter. Best of luck in the World Cup or the World Club Cup. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay well, be the best person you can be every day, and keep being awesome. Bye for now.
And I have a feeling they're going to pop up in my feature games. I have a feeling. We're going to find out. What up, Mama Bing?